YouTube, what up? We are back. It is officially here, week 1 of the NFL season. Today we're from the car. I just placed my first bet, so I figured I'd just make a video on the spot here. Technically our second bet of the season because we did place futures bets. You can go a video or two prior to this. I think it's the previous video, and go watch and see what futures we bet on. But kind of, continuing with our momentum from that futures. In today's video, we're going to be discussing our first bet of the week, the Washington Commanders -6, hosting the New York Giants, the much newly highly anticipated Giants that I believe is going to fall flat on their face in week 1. So before I get into that, if you are new to this channel, if this is your first time seeing me, I go by Nick Harris Football on here, on Twitter. Look for me everywhere. But why should you guys even care what I have to say? I started this channel last year. We hit at 63%, a 63% win rate. I don't know if you know how insane that is, but pro bettors strive to hit at 55%. We hit 63% last year, our first year doing this. We hope to continue that momentum. All plays were posted for free as well. Okay, so if that's not enough of a reason to stick around, somebody who's hitting at that high of a rate and posting everything for free, just do me a favor, subscribe right now, hit the like button, whatever. Just keep me in your algorithm, or else you know how these social media platforms are. I'll probably disappear forever. You'll forget about me. You'll be stuck tailing some loser, and that'll be the end of it. Okay, guys, so let's get into our first pick of the year here. But before we do, I need to do a little bit of housekeeping. Very sad news. So the reason this video is coming out way later than I wanted to, the reason why I only have one bet this week, let me just get to it. I was doing a lot of research, and if any of you guys have followed me last year, a big part of our success was teasers. If you knew how to play them right, 6-point teasers were extremely profitable. They were just such a cheat code, and it literally felt like the easiest wins ever, week in and week out. So I'm grinding my ass off this week, crunching numbers and trying to find the most high probability and safest teasers we could find. And I finally did. I felt good about what we had. And then I go to place the bets, and I realized, oh, these sports books are the greediest fucks on planet Earth. And the odds went, at least from my book, from -125 to -140. Now, as much as I want to act like I'm God and I know everything and I can beat the books no matter what, no, that's not how any of this works. You have to be humble and understand you're only so good. The odds, you can only hit at you can't hit 100%. It's impossible. And the kind of the safety net that I'm trying to hit with -140 odds, that takes away our edge. So it's a very sad day for the time being. The 6-point teasers are retired, and we are now forced to go back, and we're really gonna have to be snipers now and be very selective and find good plays just against the spread, so we don't have crazy vig, which I believe we can do. But it forced my brain to flip a switch and understand, okay, now I have to look for something a little bit different instead of focusing so much on these teasers. So for this week, with my limited time available to know that the teasers were the way they were, this is the only play I believe we will have for this week, the Commanders -6 hosting the New York Giants. So let's get into this play. All right, so here's the deal. Everybody's really high on the Giants. They add Abdul Carter, and they get rid of Danny Dimes, add Russell Wilson, and there's just everybody keeps saying, oh, positive energy around the Giants. They add Jackson Dart, all this stuff, Cam Scatterboot, whatever. And yeah, I think the Giants have improved their roster over last year. I don't think anybody would really disagree with that. But here's the thing. Let's just talk first this year versus last year. Commanders are basically a blue chip team from what we knew at the end of the year. Dominant. Giants were basically a bottom of the barrel dog shit team, right? So those two facts you can't really disagree with. And if this game was played at the end of the year last year, the spread would probably be a lot crazier than -6, right? Probably way higher. The Giants were losing, it felt like, every game at the end of the year by double digits minimum, and Commanders were monsters. They made it to the NFC Championship game. They upset the 1 seed in Detroit. Okay, and let's fast forward to what we know this year. The Giants got better. They had Abdul Carter, but also that helps. But they really had pretty good edge rushers already. Like, they had Thibodeau and Brian Burns already, so now it's a little awkward. They'll just have a higher quality as they rotate them, which is still good. But I think it would have been more valuable if they had like a guy to complement Dexter Lawrence in on the inside. Unless they just throw him on the inside, then they could be a monster. But regardless, I'm giving them credit. It's an improvement. So they add him. Honestly, the biggest improvement I think they get is adding Javon Holland to their secondary. Very big improvement for them as well. So they add 2 good pieces there. And then obviously the Giants add Russell Wilson, who he is a big upgrade over Daniel Jones, who's just god-awful. But Russell Wilson still isn't good. He's definitely way past his prime. If you've watched him these past few years, really not that impressive, not that good. But yes, the Giants overall have improved as a team. I just don't think they're that good still. The Commanders, on the other hand, let's say everything's equal, we're both starting from neutral here, they got a lot better too. At the end of last year, they had Marshawn Lattimore, so now they have a real corner there. They had Von Miller there, who, his biggest thing, obviously, he's getting older, but injuries. So, if he's maybe later in the year he gets hurt, he's not as valuable. But if earlier in the year he's fresh and actually plays, that could be a big addition. And then really, the biggest ones are on the offensive side of the ball. We get the Commanders get Laramie Tunsil to protect Jaden Daniels' blindside, big-time left tackle from Houston. And then they grabbed Deebo Samuel as well because they really didn't have any other wide receiver weapons aside from Terry McLaurin. So now you have Scary Terry, Deebo Samuel, Zach Ertz is still there, big safety blanket for Jaden Daniels. I expect this team to be a lot better this year over last year. And last year they were really, really good. So with all those things considered, yes, like I just said, Giants have improved, but Commanders have improved a lot as well. And if you take them for what they were last year, the Commanders were way better than the Giants. So I personally think this one gets ugly. I make this line more so. I think this line should really be closer to Commanders minus 9.5. So if I'm able to get a -6, I do believe there's value in that. I won't be surprised if this one gets somewhat ugly. And the Commanders really just get off to a fast start and a hot start to the season, despite all the hype around the Giants and their defense. So, and let me note one more thing here is this is a 0.25 unit play. So it's a very small play, okay, guys? So it's a quarter of a unit play. Oh, but if you love the Commanders so much, why is it so small? Yada, yada, yada. Because, guys, the reason we win so much is because we're very selective and we play very smart. It's the first week of the season. There's a lot of unpredictability. We don't have any sort of data to see how these teams are going to be this year yet. We're kind of just implying it based on previous year's data, so it's hard to feel as good about it. Also, Jaden Daniels, he had one unbelievable year last year. I expect him to have another great year, but we haven't seen him do it, back to back yet. We've only seen 1 year. So there's a little part of me that has that, and knows I need to proceed with a little bit of caution just because of that. We don't know 100% for sure if this is going to be a guy that's going to be able to do this year in and year out. I think it will be, but we don't know yet, so I have to lower my unit size because of that uncertainty. So I know it's boring, but it's what gives us, I believe, an edge over the books is our willingness to be patient, selective, and size appropriately. So for our first pick of the season, we're going Washington Commanders -6 for 0.25 units. It's our first play. Bet responsibly. You never have to bet my plays. I just do this because it's what I like to do. So you guys do you. That's it, boys. First pick of the season. Now that I know teasers are off the table, maybe I will be able to find more plays per week and get these videos out a little bit sooner. But the whole teaser thing threw a wrench in my schedule. So that's it, boys. Let's go Commanders -6. Guys, if you made it this far, follow me on my Twitter at Karis Football. I post everything way sooner on there. It takes me a while to make these videos, edit them, upload them, etc., etc. Go follow me on Karis Football on Twitter. You'll see the picks way sooner. That way you don't miss the line moves. I'll put that in the description or whatever. But yeah, if you made it this far, go check out my Twitter. Go subscribe, like the video, whatever you could help me to do. To get me in the algorithm, it's very hard. I'm just doing this on my own. I'm not part of any network. So that's it, guys. I give you guys these picks for free, and they hit better than anybody, basically. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed. Good luck, boys. Let's get them. Peace.